Japanese professional wrestling, known as Puroresu, gained popularity in 1951 after World War II when the country was gripped by strong anti-American sentiments following their defeat in the war. Fans would crowd around televisions to watch their hero defeat his Western opponents with trademark karate chops. Japan's first wrestling company, the Japanese Wrestling Alliance, was formed in 1953, and the JWA operated until 1972 when its star wrestlers Antonio Inoki and Giant Baba left to establish their own promotions, New Japan Pro Wrestling and All Japan Pro Wrestling. NJPW focused on mixed martial arts style of wrestling, whilst AJPW focused on an American grappling style, making both promotions incredibly unique. In this list, we rank our top 8 picks for the greatest Japanese wrestlers of all time. So get your burning spirits roaring, deliver some strong style chops, and let's walk down this King's Road. Number 8. Riki Dozan, the godfather of Puroresu. Riki Dozan is widely regarded as the godfather of Puroresu, having become a national hero in post-World War II Japan. He played a crucial role in popularizing professional wrestling and elevating it to the same level of prominence as other top-tier sports in the country. Notably, his victory over Lou Thesz for the NWA International Heavyweight Championship in Japan on August 27, 1958 catapulted him to global fame. In 1953, Riki Dozan founded the Japanese Wrestling Alliance, making Japan's first ever professional wrestling promotion. The success of this venture enabled him to invest in various properties, including nightclubs, hotels, and boxing promotions. He also constructed the Riki Sports Coliseum, a venue where numerous early JWA shows were held. Riki Dozan was a mentor and trainer to several aspiring wrestlers, although none would reach the same level of fame as the two Japanese wrestling legends, Kanji Antonio Inoki and Shohei Giant Baba. However, tragedy struck on December 8, 1963, when Riki Dozan was stabbed during an altercation with a young Yakuza member in a Tokyo nightclub. He passed away a week later, leaving the nation in mourning. Over 12,000 people attended his funeral, and Japan mourned the loss of its national icon. Number 7. Kazuchika Okada, a legend in the making. Kazuchika Okada is widely acclaimed as one of the greatest professional wrestlers of all time, earning the moniker the Rainmaker. He received his training from the legendary Ultimo Dragon, and like many of Dragon's top students, Okada began his wrestling career in Mexico. Throughout his illustrious career, Okada has achieved remarkable success, boasting an impressive 7 IWGP Championship reigns. He held the prestigious IWGP Heavyweight Championship on 5 occasions, with one of his reigns lasting an astounding 720 days. Additionally, he secured the unified IWGP World Heavyweight Championship twice. However, it was during his 4th reign as IWGP Heavyweight Championship, spanning from 2016 to 2018, that Okada truly ascended to the pinnacle of the pro wrestling world. One of his most defining moments came on January 4th, 2017 at Wrestle Kingdom 11 when he defended his title against Kenny Omega. This legendary encounter is widely regarded as one of the greatest wrestling matches in the history of the sport. Under Okada's leadership, New Japan Pro Wrestling gained unprecedented attention and popularity during the year 2017. Many experts and fans believe that given a little more time, the Rainmaker Kazuchika Okada could very well surpass all others to become the greatest pro wrestler in Japan's history. His remarkable skills, numerous championship reigns, and ability to deliver unforgettable matches have solidified his place as a true wrestling legend. Number 6. Jushin Thunder Liger, Flying Thunder. Jushin Thunder Liger is undoubtedly one of the most recognizable and celebrated cruiserweights, or junior heavyweights as they're known in Japan. He took inspiration for his look and gimmick from the manga and anime of the same name. Despite the manga and anime being short-lived, Jushin Thunder Liger's wrestling career spanned an impressive 34 years. However, his journey to becoming a wrestler is not without its hurdles. As a young student, Liger applied to the New Japan Pro Wrestling Dojo in the early 80s, but he was rejected due to not meeting the height requirements at the time. Undeterred, he traveled to Mexico to pursue his dream of becoming a professional wrestler. During his training there, Liger faced significant challenges, and according to his shoot interview, even experienced near starvation. It is said that the New Japan officials visiting Mexico took pity on him and invited him back to Japan. At the age of 20, Liger made his debut in December 1984. Throughout his career, he is credited with inventing several popular wrestling moves, including the rolling koppu kick, which he learned from his martial arts background, and a shooting star press, which he debuted in 1987, inspired by his love of the manga Fist of the North Star. During 1989, after training with the legendary Stu Hart, New Japan gifted him with the Jushin Thunder Liger gimmick based on the TV show, similar to how they had used the rights for the Tiger's Mask gimmick in the 1980s. Under the persona, Jushin Liger became incredibly popular worldwide, and his fame extended to the United States, where he signed with World Championship Wrestling in 1991, spending 3 years there before returning back to New Japan. Notably, in 1996, Jushin Liger unveiled his alter ego, Kinshin Liger, during a feud with the Great Muta. This memorable match saw Muta ripping off Liger's mask only to reveal that his face was painted with an eerie design, and his shot missed into Muta's eyes. Jushin Liger's illustrious career also saw him venture into mixed martial arts, participating in an MMA fight for Pancreas in 2002, though he suffered a quick defeat to Minoru Suzuki, who would go on to become a notable professional wrestling star. In 2019, Jushin Thunder Liger had his last singles match against Taka Michinoku on November 14th, and his final major feud in New Japan Pro Wrestling was against Minoru Suzuki before concluding his career in a tag match at Wrestle Kingdom 14 in 2020. Throughout his extraordinary journey, Jushin Thunder Liger became a true legend and a beloved figure in the world of junior heavyweight wrestling, leaving an undeniable mark on the sport's history. Number 5. The Great Muta, the Pearl of the Orient. Keiji Muto, known by many names, but none more famous than the Great Muta, is one of the most iconic and internationally recognized Japanese wrestlers. He gained widespread fame outside of Japan in the 80s and the 90s, competing in prominent wrestling promotions like the National Wrestling Alliance and World Championship Wrestling. While many people believe that the Great Muta invented the moonsault, it is essential to clarify that he popularized the move, but he did not invent it. However, he can be credited with creating the Shining Wizard and the Muta Lock, two signature moves that became synonymous with his in-ring style. Over his remarkable 35-year career, the Great Muta held an impressive total of 23 championships. Notably, he stands as one of only 4 wrestlers to achieve the rare distinction of winning all 3 major championships in Puruso. He won All Japan Pro Wrestling's Triple Crown Heavyweight Championship, New Japan Pro Wrestling's IWGP Heavyweight Championship, and Pro Wrestling Noah's GHC Heavyweight Championship. The Great Muta also holds the distinction of being one of only 2 Japanese wrestlers to simultaneously hold the National Wrestling Alliance World Heavyweight Championship and the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. This impressive feat further solidified his status as a top-tier competitor in the wrestling world. Debuting on October 5th, 1984, the Great Muta's character transformation into Great Muta took place almost 5 years into his career, marking his first appearance under the moniker in NWA's World Championship Wrestling territory on March 18, 1989 on an edition of Saturday Night. Throughout the 1990s and the 2000s, the Great Muta remained a prominent figure in the heavyweight division in New Japan Pro Wrestling, continuously reinventing himself and delivering memorable performances in the ring. His legacy as one of the most influential wrestlers in Puruso continues to inspire and resonate with fans today. On February 21st, 2003, the Great Muta officially retired from professional wrestling, marking the end of an illustrious career that left a lasting legacy in the history of the sport. Number 4. Antonio Inoki, the fighting spirit that burns. Antonio Inoki is undoubtedly the most famous Japanese wrestler of all time. His contributions extend beyond the realm of professional wrestling. His remarkable career as a pro wrestler, mixed martial arts pioneer, politician, and even hostage negotiator have left a lasting mark on Japan and the wrestling world. Inoki's journey began as a young ace for Riki Doshan, marking his debut in 1960. He would later establish New Japan Pro Wrestling in 1972 and take on a role as the promotion's top star. Known for his tough shoot-fighting style, Inoki encountered notable incidents during his career. In one such encounter in 1976, he faced Akram Halhalwan, a grappler turned pro wrestler who attempted to shoot on Inoki and bit him. In response, Inoki broke his arm in a shoot double wrist lock, ending the man's career. Another famous incident involved the former strongman turned wrestler, the great Antonio, who no-sold Inoki's offense. Inoki reacted with a brutal knockdown and continued stomping on the man's head until the match was halted. Inoki's most famous fight, however, was against heavyweight boxing champion Muhammad Ali on June 26, 1976 in Tokyo. The bout, an exhibition of mixed rules, saw Inoki repeatedly kick Ali's legs, leading to injuries. Though New Japan Pro Wrestling achieved success in its early years, it never reached the same level as All Japan Pro Wrestling, despite Inoki's star power. During the 1990s, Inoki's involvement in mixing MMA elements with pro wrestling nearly jeopardized New Japan Pro Wrestling's future. Some critics argue that this approach heavily impacted the sport by shifting focus from storytelling to heavy strikes with limited selling. Nevertheless, Inoki also contributed positively to wrestling and his country. Notably, he played a significant role in bringing together the Japanese and North Korean governments for a two-day wrestling festival for peace, known as Collision in Korea. While the event remains controversial, it features a match between Antonio Inoki and Ric Flair, which Inoki won. Inoki's retirement from professional wrestling lasted for 4 years from 1994 to 1998, marked by his final Countdown tour. During this time, he revisited some of his mixed martial arts matches under professional wrestling rules and rematched some of his most renowned wrestling encounters. Notably, he made a surprisingly rare appearance at WCW's Clash of the Champions, defeating the WCW World Television Champion Steve Regal in a non-title match, delivering a highly praised performance. Despite his retirement, Inoki couldn't resist the allure of the ring, and he engaged in 4 more matches between 2000 and 2003. In his storied career in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Inoki held the IWGP Heavyweight Championship 3 times. Antonio Inoki's passing on October 1st, 2022 at the age of 79 left behind an undeniable legacy both inside and outside of the wrestling ring. He will forever be remembered as a trailblazer, a larger-than-life figure whose fighting spirit and impact continue to resonate with fans and wrestling enthusiasts worldwide. Number 3. Jumbo Tsurusa, the perfect monster ace. In the 1980s, a handful of wrestlers were considered the greatest in the world, such as Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Andre the Giant, Nick Bockwinkel, and Harley Race. Surprisingly, one name often overlooked in these discussions is Jumbo Tsurusa, despite being an unparalleled force in the wrestling world during that era. His greatness as a wrestler in the 80s remains unmatched by few. Jumbo's wrestling journey began in October 1972, where he was scouted by the legendary Giant Baba. Catching Baba's eye, Tsurusa won 2 consecutive national championships and even competed in the 1972 Munich Olympics in Greco-Roman wrestling. He then signed to All Japan Pro Wrestling and headed to Amarillo, Texas to train with the renowned Funk Wrestling family. After a year of training, the young ace returned to Japan in October 1973 and immediately found himself in the main event, forming a tag team with Giant Baba. Giant Baba's unselfish support of Jumbo proved pivotal to the young wrestler, and between 1976 and 1992, Jumbo Tsurusa was considered one of the greatest wrestlers in the entire world. He achieved the distinction of becoming the first ever Triple Crown Heavyweight Champion, unifying the PWF Heavyweight Championship, the NWA United National Championship, and the NWA International Heavyweight Championship. Notably, Jumbo Tsurusa was also the first Japanese wrestler to win a major American World Heavyweight Championship, capturing the AWA Heavyweight Championship on February 22nd, 1984. He held the title for 81 days and defended it 15 times in America. Moreover, Jumbo's wrestling style in the mid to late 80s revolutionized heavyweight wrestling and set the stage for incredible bouts with Genichiro Tenryu. His matches in the early 90s against Mitsuhara Misawa played a crucial role in giving rise to the next generation of Japanese wrestling stars. Despite the extraordinary impact that he had on the wrestling world, Jumbo Tsurusa's name is often overlooked when discussing the greatest wrestlers of the 80s. However, his legacy as the perfect monster ace remains firmly intact to those who truly understand the sport's history and Jumbo's impact on the global stage. Number 2. Kento Kobashi, the Ace Iron Man. Regarded as one of the greatest wrestlers not only in Japan but in the entire world, Kento Kobashi's legacy stands as a testament to his enduring impact on the sport. His journey to the pinnacle of the wrestling world began under the watchful eye of genius Giant Baba in All Japan Pro Wrestling. On February 26, 1988, Kobashi made his debut, and little did fans of pro wrestling know that they were about to witness the evolution of a wrestling legend. In the early days of his career, Kobashi endured a series of losses, going over a year without a single victory in singles matches. However, his fiery, never-say-die attitude finally paid off when he secured a triumph over Mitch Snow on May 16, 1989, during AJPW's Superpower Series, earning himself a prestigious Tokyo Sports Rookie of the Year award. A year later, on May 17th, while teaming up with Tiger Mask 2, Kobashi won the All-Asian Tag Team Championships, solidifying his credibility as a force to be reckoned with within the wrestling world. Between 1990 and 1995, Kobashi's rise to prominence continued as he held the championships 4 times. By 1992, he had caught the attention of wrestling enthusiasts and international media alike, and the world started paying close attention to both him and All Japan Pro Wrestling. As a key figure in the next generation of Japanese superstars within AJPW, Kenta Kobashi played a pivotal role in transforming the future of professional wrestling, contributing to what is known as the King's Road style. Fans revered him as one of the 4 pillars of heaven, alongside Misawa, Akira, and Kawada. Together, these 4 legends, alongside Jumbo Tsuruta, propelled AJPW to sell out every Tokyo event held between 1990 and 1996. Kobashi's illustrious career reached its peak with 3 reigns as the Triple Crown champion for AJPW in 1997, 1998, and 2000. However, following the passing of Giant Baba in 1999, AJPW faced internal struggles for leadership. In 2000, Kobashi, among with many others, made the decision to leave AJPW and join the newly formed Pro Wrestling Noah. As a top star for Noah, Kobashi's path to glory encountered a series of challenges due to a severe knee injury, which led him to pass out from pain during his second Noah match against Jun Akiyama on August 2000. Despite the setbacks, Kobashi demonstrated incredible resilience, taking 13 months off for multiple knee surgeries and rehabilitation before returning to Noah on February 24, 2002. His determination was tested yet again when his knees gave out mid-match, prompting him to take another 5 months off. Nonetheless, he made a triumphant return and he set his sights on Noah's grandest prize, the GHC Heavyweight Championship. On March 1st, 2003, in an unforgettable showdown, Kobashi defeated Misawa, capturing the GHC Heavyweight Championship. He went on to hold the title for a monumental 735 days, a remarkable 2-year reign that remains the longest in Noah's history. Kobashi's legacy in Noah saw him becoming the 2-time GHC Heavyweight Champion, and he continued to battle injuries and even cancer in the years that followed before his eventual retirement in 2013. No discussion of Kobashi's greatness would be complete without acknowledging the move he popularized, the Burning Hammer. Using his devastating maneuver only 7 times between 1998 and 2006, the Burning Hammer has become synonymous with Kenta Kobashi's name, forever etching his legacy into wrestling lore. Number 1. Misaharu Misawa, Kamikaze Ace of Heaven. In the 90s, there was no wrestler more beloved and popular in Japan than Misawa. As the internet wrestling community emerged and tape trading boomed, AJPW tapes and collections of Misawa's matches became highly sought after, elevating his legend worldwide. Among knowledgeable wrestling fans, Misawa is widely recognized as the greatest wrestler in the world. Misawa's journey in the wrestling world began in 1981, and by 1984, he was sent to Mexico to further hone his skills. Upon returning to AJPW, Misawa's fame soared after spending 6 years under the mask as the junior heavyweight wrestler Tiger's Mask 2. However, his true identity was dramatically revealed on May 14, 1990 during a tag match where he discarded his mask, igniting the crowd's excitement and marking the birth of a new star. Giant Baba's genius and strategic booking allowed Misawa to rise to prominence, and he would go on to challenge his childhood hero, Jumbo Tsuruta, symbolizing a transition into the heavyweight division. Misawa, along with fellow pillars Kobashi and Akira, formed the Super Generation Army stable in 1990. On June 8, 1990, in an unforgettable encounter, Misawa achieved the unthinkable, reversing Jumbo Tsurusa's pinfall and cleanly pinning him in a singles match. This monumentous win, reportedly altered at the last minute by Giant Baba, propelled Misawa to headline 5 years of sold-out AJPW shows. Misawa's in-ring prowess was further acknowledged when his match against Kawada from AJPW's Superpower Series Night 16 on June 3, 1994 received an unprecedented 6-star rating from Dave Meltzer, an accolade for many years only shared by Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat. Despite wrestling through injuries and enduring remarkable challenges, Misawa displayed unwavering toughness and determination. In 1995, he wrestled Carnival of Champions with a broken orbital bone, beating Stan Hansen on May 26, 1995 to capture his second Triple Crown Championship win. Yes, you can be tough, but you'll never be beating Stan Hansen with a broken freaking orbital bone tough. In 1998, with multiple injuries including broken bones and a bad neck and bad back, Misawa defied medical advice and continued to wrestle. After Giant Baba's passing in January 1999, Misawa assumed the role of president and booker of AJPW. However, a power struggle with Baba's wife led to his departure, resulting in the formation of Pro Wrestling Noah. Noah's rise to prominence saw Misawa stepping into the spotlight once again, shouldering responsibilities amidst challenges like Kobashi's injuries and the decline in Japanese pro wrestling popularity. Despite planning to retire in 2007, Misawa's commitment to Noah's success remained steadfast and he continued to be a major box office draw. On December 10, 2006, Misawa secured his third GHC Heavyweight Championship, holding it for a impressive 448 days, his longest reign. Tragically, on June 13, 2009, Misawa passed away in the ring after a belly-to-back suplex at the age of 46. The years of untreated injuries and top-level performances had taken a toll on his body. Mitsuhara Misawa left behind an undeniable legacy in the wrestling business, and his contributions will be forever remembered. His innovative Kings Road style continues to inspire, and his untitled dedication to the sport remains unparalleled. Wrestling fans will never forget the kamikaze and the impact that he made on the wrestling world during his remarkable career.